Why did Ellie kill Owen and Mel? Ellie's killing of Owen and Mel takes a whole unexpected turn when she eventually makes it to the aquarium. Ellie locates the two and asks them where Abby is in part 2 of The Last of Us. She instructs Mel and Owen to indicate Abby's location on the map. Owen is shot by Ellie during their attack. When Mel tries to stab Ellie, Ellie pushes the knife away. She knows Mel is pregnant, purposefully stabs her, and then walks away. Abby eventually discovers where Ellie and the gang are when Ellie abandons her map. This scene is not the same as the program. Ellie instructs the two to start by using a map that is already in the space. In Season 3, this might make it harder for Abby to find Ellie, however this will most likely be explained. Second, Mel was accidentally killed by Ellie after a stray bullet struck her neck. Since Ellie dies right away in the game, the scene when Mel tries to explain how to do a C-section is also included in the HBO series. Since Ellie's unintentional killing of Mel is less active than her deliberate killing of Mel in the game, this modification can cause some controversy. Ellie's brief stay on the Seraphite Island is the only challenge introduced to HBO's adaptation of this The Last of Us Part 2 segment. Ellie is blown off course by the storm and strong seas while on the boat. When she finally washes up on an island, a community of Seraphites welcome her. Ellie is abducted by the Seraphites, who then plan to murder her. The Seraphites, however, announce that WLF forces have arrived on the island and decide at the last minute to spare her. In The Last of Us Part 2, Ellie loses the boat and swims the remaining distance to the aquarium, therefore she never visits the Seraphite Island. Is Jesse dead? Jesse is indeed deceased. He opens the door first when he and Ellie hear a disturbance in the theater, and Abby shoots him dead right away. After learning earlier in the episode that Dina is pregnant, Jesse's passing is all the more tragic. He tries his hardest to get Ellie, Tommy, Dina, and his unborn kid out of Seattle because he believes he cannot die. What does Abby's flashback mean? A flashback to Seattle's first day, which occurred a few days ago, at the episode's conclusion suggests that we will be seeing the same days from Abby's point of view. Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin have already discussed their desire for people to empathize with Abby and how challenging it is in the game, where you take on Abby, as opposed to the program. Abby was consequently presented much earlier in the show. I recall asking Neil Druckmann, for the first time, why did you do it that way? Because I'm constantly attempting to understand his motivations there, Mazin previously stated. Mazin went on, as a player of the game and video games in general, I agree that there's something about the mechanics of playing that makes you feel instantly connected to them once you become someone. Being someone and doing things that you wish they wouldn't be doing can be really confusing. However, we don't have that on television. Oh, when I was Joel or when I was Abby, is not something we have. We watched them, and we felt that it was crucial to provide enough context for the audience because we weren't going to do a lengthy scene in which Abby was the only character. The game was telling us that you had to be Abby for a long time, you couldn't just press triangle and be Joel or Ellie. That's not what we have. We had choices of when to bring people in and out, and so we thought it was important to situate Abby. It appears that much more of what shaped Abby will be revealed.